contestant, Vicki C. Contestant number 5. Contestant number 5, Vicki C.
Karen, I would say stand, but you are. You and I have the same issue of being height challenged. Thank you so much for sharing your family's romantic comedy with us. When you first began, I thought it was going to be a joke, sort of like, a priest or a rabbi and a duck walk into a bar. But then when you told us that it was a formula for a romantic comedy, you really caught my interest. And I looked around the room and you had everybody else's interest too. Also, you used great humor and everybody laughed at the appropriate times, and you did something really good. You let them. You gave them enough time. You didn't keep going like so many times when people aren't used to this big an audience. And you have to give them the time to finish laughing before you begin. And you did that really well. One of the things that I think you also did well is you moved around on the stage, but not too much. Have you ever seen a speaker that felt like it was the Energizer Bunny and they just walked back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? No. You made use of the stage. You made use of the eye contact and the gestures. You introduced us to Gloria and Eddie. And they were a fine couple to be introduced to. Then, you went on to tell some stories about how he dressed and all the reasons why she shouldn't have even been interested in him. And we already know why he was interested in her. So, you already had an interesting story there of a couple. And the best line of your speech was the last line, where your mother listened with her heart. I recommend 2 things. Number 1, the Toastmaster did not give a title to your speech. That would give a good title gives a roadmap to the audience of where you're going and what to expect. So if you had given him a title and he didn't give it, I recommend that you should have somehow told us what the title of your story was. Also, if you could find a way to work in listening and heart earlier in the speech, so when you end with that line, it really grabs us. Those are the only recommendations I have, Karen. You had a remarkable story. I really enjoyed it, and thank you so much for sharing it with us. This was